My dudes, what's going on? This is the final giveaway for the Pet Piggy Companion. The winner is from the last video, Conehead Zombie. Your content got me into crystal damage. I love you. Congratulations, my dude. What you need to do is join the Itty Bitty Army Discord and then send me a message with the screenshot of your character's name, and then we can set up a time so then I can trade you the piggy and then add you as a friend and give you max level bonuses. Once again, congratulations, my dude. My dudes, it's been about 2 days, and as you can see, we are sitting at 60 million damage. Now you may be wondering, Griffy, I can't believe you did a bunch of offline grinding, the classic. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't want to watch that shit. That shit was like, it would have added like 7 episodes to what I was doing. Instead, I'm just gonna give you a simple rundown because all free to play, by the way, still no carries, no nothing, just grit and just iron fortitude. We have a lot of tips to tell you today. We have a lot of tricks to tell you today, and we're gonna go all over it so then you guys can get into World 6 as soon as possible. There's a couple of steps, and we're gonna go what I did for the past 2 days, step by step. So let's get into it. The first one is questing. I know, I did 186 quests on one character. As crazy as that sounds, the reason why is for the star talent known as Quest Kapow. Quest Kapow, for each completed quest on any character, gives 1% damage up to a total of 200%. Obviously, I did some unique quests on my DK when, for instance, pushing World 3, but that gave us a whopping 200% damage. I was at, stop recording the other day, I think I was at like 73, 74. So I increased my damage percent by 125%. I know, absolutely berserk. It took me a little while, but you know what? It's actually really easy. So what we're gonna do is, instead of me walking through every single quest, I'm going to go through all of the quest log on the IdleOn wiki because that's easier to do. Plus there's GIFs, so it makes our brain go burr and happy. And I'm going to just explain to you all of them that is going to be happening and what needs to be done. Keep in mind, I know this sounds like a lot, but you got to remember that what I'm about to show you is how you get pre-prep for World 6, because then you don't have to do most of the stuff afterwards. And that's the main thing. As long as you don't have, you do all that stuff, get it done, and then you're good. So let's start off with Blunder Hills, okay? I did, just to give you an idea, I did basically every single World 1 to World 3 quests, except with certain precaution, okay? Let's pull this bad boy up here. Now, for Blunder Hills, I did, we're just gonna go from the start. I did all of Scriptus's quest line up to here, okay? I did not do these 2 quests because they're just gonna take too long. They're gonna take too many resources, not something you wanna do. So you're gonna be doing all of Scriptus quest line, okay? Absolutely. Going down, Mr. Piggy Bank, you should have already had this done by now because you're collecting stamps. Town Marble, same deal. Collecting stamps, that should have already been done. Builder Bird, same deal. You're in World 2, you should have already gotten that stuff. Grassland Gary, same thing. These are all quests that count towards this. All of this should have been done beforehand on your DK. Glumlee, I did all of this. Every single bit of this is completed with Glumlee. You want to make sure all of this whole entire quest line is done. And remember, doing this on your Elemental Sorcerer is not a bad thing to do, because if you're doing it with your Elemental Sorcerer, that still means that you're power leveling your character for tools later on in the game. Very easy quest line, just get her done. Mutton is kind of the same deal. I did all of these quests, all of these up to the red one. We do not want to do get 1 million followers because it's still going to take a little bit of time. But you got to remember that every quest that we've been doing has also been rewarding us with a ton of stamps. So, we're getting like Scimitar stamp, Manamore stamp, Fist stamp, not to mention storage. A lot of our storage problems have been fixed. Also, these things are best to farm at Amrock, and then you're just going to craft the flip-flop. Very easy stuff. Not hard at all. This takes literally seconds. Now, for this stuff, I did actually end up doing all of this as well. This is also quite easy. I did this also on my Elemental Sorcerer just to get it one and done and out of the way. By the time that you're in World 5, and we were at Fire Spears last time I checked, we're at Minor Moles, by the way, we're ready to challenge Kruk, but we got to go through all this first before we get into World 6. Taking a look at this stuff here, it's actually really easy to do because we have an abundance of this material now. 200 gold ore is nothing. 100 iron bars is nothing. This is literally, but look, we're also getting more storage chests. We're getting statues. So you're doing all of those quest line. Easy peasy. Just get her done. Woodsman token. Yeah, this is also easy. You want to get all that done. It's just the simplest thing in the world. It's just quick, easy, take it out of your storage, put it in. Damn, you're done. Picnic stowaway is a little different though, because remember we did picnic stowaway up to the point of where we got the Crystal for Days talent. You know, when we did it, when we were unlocking the Crystal for Days talent on top of getting, well, we did that a couple episodes ago. I didn't go on past that because you have to redo everything else. It's not worth the nugget cakes, not worth the midnight cookies, just not worth farming. You don't get anything of benefit. So I actually just stayed where we were and continued from that. I mean, you could argue it's worth the golden kebabs, but for me, not worth it. Typhoon should have already been done multiple times. Hamish. Hamish is something that we haven't shown yet. He was located at the bottom of the frogs map right before you go hand in the stone peanut. This guy's also super easy. You do all of it. It gives you 2 stamps. You want to do that whole quest line. It's free storage as well. A lot of my storage problems have been fixed because I did all these quests. So definitely get that done. Prometheus. Prometheus is actually really easy. You want to do all his quest line as well. These 2 ones right here, all you have to do is go to Baba Yaga, look at him, hand in the quest, and then go back in and then defeat Baba Yaga after you went in. Also, if you've managed, you could also go to World 1 Coliseum to defeat Baba Yaga. But this is inventory bags, alien headband, which goes towards slab, which is also quite important. Toadstool. I did this. I did party dungeons, and I ended up doing a happy hour, and I got 4th frog, by the way. I did manage to hit 4th frog. I even have video evidence of it that I found a party and went in it, okay? I had no carries. It was just the one happy hour that I decided to do off camera was the one that we hit 4th frog. I know. It's like, it totally caught, bro. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. But you know what? Guess what? I did it. And I have video evidence. And I'm sure Teo will put the video evidence while I'm talking on this right now. Or not. I don't know. But yes, really easy to do. Also, a really bonus thing about doing all this quest lines as well is the loot dice. You get a ton of loot dice, which is helping for keychains, helping you for Flurbo shop, helping you buy bonuses. It's very, very good. So this is super easy. All you have to do is go to happy hour, find a party, create a party, invite somebody, leave party, complete the quest, then join a party, and then complete that quest, and then go defeat Grand Frogger on your other quest for your happy hour. And then there you go. You get dungeon credits, you get 4 dungeon, and then plus 3 for our beautiful, beautiful kapow. Stiltso. Now, this one, I did the whole entire quest line. So these guys right here, you kind of have a little bit of a candy deficit. You'll make it up later. But what I did is because for instance, you need to use 4 hours and you get 2-hour time candy as a reward. You use 8 hours and you get 4 hours as a reward. And then you use 16 hours and you get 24 hours as a reward. So it kind of like equals itself out, but it's just free. It's just free real estate. So you want to do all of Stiltso's quest lines. Just do it. Just use the time candy. Just get it done. And then you get all of that stuff that you need, even some balloons. Also, keep in mind, if you haven't, leveling up the level up bubble, the yellow bubble that is in the big bubble. If you have Sheepy, you just automatic. That has a chance of dropping you stuff like balloons or even a stamp that gives you a card drop chance, which is very, very strong stamp, by the way. Strongly suggest it for leveling up. So while you're doing this, you might have a chance of leveling up to get extra balloons as well. Also, your chances of doing a lot of achievements as well is also very big. So the amount of candy, the amount of gems, the amount of stamps, the amount of storage that you'll get from doing these quests is absolutely phenomenal. The Funguy, this one was super easy. You want to do his whole quest line as well because it's just super, super, super dummy thick easy. Couple of tips here. Silver stopwatch. This one can just be easily farmed at Amrock. Hopefully you've been farming your Amrock keys every day to make sure that you haven't capped because it's only 3 days worth of time. With your 2 point, you're going to be at like probably 2.5 to 3 times drop rate at this point in time if you've been following the video. So you're getting about anywhere from 2 to 4 time thingies per Amrock kill. So that's really easy to do. So that's a free silver stopwatch. Meeting new people. what I suggest is just go into Pizza 1 server or Pizza 2 server, and in Blunder Hill's main village, all you have to do is meet some new people. Or wait, no, sorry, this is the wrong one. Sorry. This is the wrong one. All you have to do is kill the 35 spawn monsters. Sorry. So in that one, forget what I said. In that one map where the boa is, where the Funguy is located, he'll just summon 35 monsters. You defeat the monsters, they're done. 100 potty rolls, bing bang beezle. There you go, you're done. The chopping score, oh so super easy. This is just this free real estate for Funguy. Tiki Chief's a little bit interesting, but it's pretty easy. All you have to do is your 5 big ones are the 5 boss kills, 1 speedy kill. You're one-shotting Amarok at this point anyways. The next one is you could also use 1 time candy because our multi-kill is so high with our elemental sorcerer, so you should be around 40,000 kills per hour on your ES. So just popping a 1 hour makes this super easy rather than actively killing, or you can AFK, the choice is yours. And then the rich guy, happy guy, and tough guy, that is Kruk Funguy in Mr. Piggy Bank. You get given a little sign item in your bag. You just drop it in front of them, pick it up, and drop it to the rest of the guys. Super easy. And Tiki Chief is located at the boss map, just to the right side. This guy's easy. He should have already been done for those extra Amarok keys, so that should have been already done for you on your DK. Now, the pig is a little bit different. I did Kapow Stamp and Crystalline Stamp. You will eventually get into the daisy pots where you need to farm a frisbee. Now, farming frisbee on the elemental sorcerer is fairly easy because it's the first mob material, because you can print it. It's a base material, so it actually gets affected by multi-kill per tier. Kapow Stamp, go ahead and farm it on Gigafrogs. Just make sure you have the quest accepted, or else the stamp will not drop. Once you have the stamp dropped, go ahead and turn it in. And then you can do the crystalline stamp and then go ahead and hand it in as well. Crystalline stamp gives you crystal spawn rate, which is great. Kapow gives you crit damage, which is also fantastic, especially since we're building a decent level crit chance with our elemental sorcerer. Now, I did not go with the other quest because this one is time gated. Although the stamp is good because it gives you potion effect or a food effect, it is not that good due to the fact that you have to wait, like I think it's a total of 3 days, 3 to 4 days before you can actually finish this quest. So not worth in that regards. But if you want to, you can, I would give this one a big yeller, but if you want to make that decision. If not, I personally still think you should do it. But for the argument of just pushing to World 6, this is something that you can skip or know ahead of time and start buying these. The target, mana stamps, and vitality stamps, I think the 2 drop from the World 1 town, and then the last one drops from the Forest Villa shop, where Amarok boss is. So those 2. Yeah, so town shop there, and then Roach's Forest Villa vendors is where you're going to find those 3 stamps that you can buy. And I believe the mana stamp is the one that takes 3 days. So just stop at this right there. And then you have those quests all taken care of. And you can see how many small experience balloons that you get. This will become important later, by the way. You want to save all those up for a reason going forward. Now, next is Sprout, okay? This one is pretty easy, and this is where the red frisbee comes in. The red frisbee, now this red frisbee one, I did all of it, but I would be careful on it because this takes a long ass time. It's not that easy to farm out, okay? It's really not. But I ended up just doing it because I wanted to farm out I need a silver pen for a quest line later. So I just was farming crystal mob spawns because I ended up getting the crystalline stamp and I had the crystal for days. Remember what we were talking about with the picnic stowaway quest line to get that star talent. So then I had poop card and demon genie, which are the 2 only cards that give you crystal spawn rate. And then that's kind of how we went along with that. And also, by the way, if you're trying to farm silver pens, you can do World 2 Coliseum, I believe, that has a chance of dropping a silver pen. I found that out later because in the early game, silver pens are really hard to come by. But yes, if you want to farm the red frisbee, you can. It gives you a frisbee ring. It sucks. Don't worry about it. But this is a good way to get your crystalline stamp while you're farming. And also getting things like woodula circles, which is also going to be important later. And also things such as no, I think that's it. No. Woodula circles. I think that's about it. That's pretty much about it. So do all that quest line if you want. And then this one's super easy. The Flowies, they actually drop from Baba Yaga. So all you have to do is farm Baba Yaga. You can either do that at looking for them at the Baba Yaga map, which is Orange Mushrooms map, or you can go ahead and go down to Coliseum and you can farm that out as well. Now, Telescope should have already been done. Now this is for the final one. We get to TP Pete. You want to do all of this quests because all of these quests will give you, well, not the greatest amount of things, but it still gives you balloons, which is important for later on. And it also gives you 3% damage, and all of these are easy. Job application, which you need to hand in, is from Dr. Def, which is just past the rats map, but be careful, he only spawns once a day. And then if you go up to TP Pete and you say more like Poopy Pete, he will hit you and then give you the toilet paper postage star talent book, which is actually pretty strong and will be benefiting us later. But at the current time, it is only level 1. So there's only a few things in World 1 that you actually are going to miss out on. But for the most grand scheme of things, you are 100% farming all of World 1. Now let's go back here. Now we're on Yum Yum Desert. Cowboy Jones, you are going to be doing all the way down to E-Font. Yes. Yes. The whole entire quest line will stop at about right here. Okay? And this gives you a lot of candy. This gives you storage bags. This means that you need to go do a lot of other quests. This also gets you to a point where you need to steal from Goldrick. So this will help you unlock your Maestro because you have to do his quest line. Bags, a ton of them, some small XP balloons, some more gems. By the way, I got enough gems from doing all these quests and getting all the achievements to not only unlock my final card slot, get all my brimstone slots. So now I have my anvil, my 3D printer, my brimstone slots, and full card slots. So I'm actually in a really good spot for free to play. I've gotten a lot of the main stuff that really makes up the bulk of your character, or characters for progression wise. So that's good. So you want to do this all the way down to Tomb Raid. Once you fight E-Font, 24 hours candy, Cowboy Jones token. You don't need to do Yum Yum Sheriff because it's the same deal with like the Blunder Hero Trophy. It's just expensive. So Cowboy Jones needs to be 100%. Should have already done Desert Davy. Should have already done Obel Altar with the dropping the Bob Joe. Same with Police Boy Pablo, because these are all unlocking mechanics. Construction Crow should be done. Now Centurion is a little bit different. I did, he gives you a lot of candy too, which is nice. I liked how much candy he did. I went all the way and I stopped when World 5 Coliseum. Just because World 5 Coliseum and World 6 Coliseum are when they cost a mecha ton of tickets. And we need a fair amount of tickets to doing these whole entire quest line. Go ahead and do the World 4 Coliseum. Go ahead and do every single other Coliseum quest line. And then as soon as you get to the Win World 5 Coliseum, that's when you stop. Because that's when things start getting a little too expensive. And then later on, you could go for the Gladiator Trophy, which is actually half decent of a trophy. It actually surpasses the Megalodon Trophy, which is super solid. You want to definitely stay away from this. And then there's nothing special. Just remember, for the World 1 Coliseum and the World 2 Coliseum, there is a star sign in both of them that require a completion on multiple characters. By the way, I did do star signs, so I'll be explaining that as well. So just keep that in mind that you want to click on those people when you've done the Coliseums with them. Snake Jar, you want to do all of this. Ask another player to come in and say hi if you can. I managed to get lucky. I ended up asking somebody. They came to the Snake Jar, said hi, was able to complete everything. So this is just free real estate. It's beautiful. Absolutely free. Bandit Bob is part of the quest line that you need to do when continuing and farming out the beautifulness that is the Cowboy Jones, because he gives you the signed warrant. The sesame seeds are easy. They drop from mimics. Believe it or not, cool little fun thing. Sesame seeds were originally intended to be the entry key for World 2 party dungeons, but eventually got scrapped due to redundancy. So now they're just a stupid little quest item that show up specifically with that. So the more you know, I guess. The yellow headband, by the way, drops from Sandy Pots. So if you want to go farm that out, easy peasy. And then, of course, the bullets take nothing to do. So, and then once you get the signed arrest warrant, then you can continue the Cowboy Jones questline. Specious, you should have already done this. Cattle Prod is a little bit annoying, but he gives a ton of stamps. I only did these two because doing the 1,000 monster rating and having a later player rating with a letter P and a player rating with a letter S is both pretty hard to do, and I'm pretty sure it's case sensitive as well, which is also super annoying. Just do those, save time, and stat graph is good and all, but you can always do that later. By the way, I'm pretty sure the best way to farm monster ratings is actually farming E-Font. Goldrick. Now, when you've got to a certain spot in the Cowboy Jones quest line, he will require you to talk to Goldrick. You will need to go collect coins that he drops. Hoops in a row or total hoops is going to be for what he means by hoops is the catching minigame. He's not talking about the minigame for shooting hoops. And then the casual, and then collecting these 3 items, which come from mimics, mafiosos, and sandcastles. You can just use like just 1 hour time candy per with your multi-kill that you have. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to achieve. I think I got like 800 a piece per hour I used, because we're accumulating enough time candy that it's actually worth it to use time candy to skip some quests. Golden plops should be pretty easy. Go farm that out. Bing Bong Beezle. There it is. Also, while you have this quest active, one character should have this quest active because you have a chance of getting a pre-crime war box. It doesn't do anything, but it's for slab. So just keep that in mind. The golden plop, wear all gold, and to defeat all sandcastles. All of this is easy peasy. And then the bag of nuts. The bag of nuts is what we want right there, because that's what allows us to summon the NPC to get the Maestro quest line started. By the way, I didn't make a Maestro because I wanted to show you guys how to do it. And that's the reagent that you need in order to summon it to actually start the quest line that you need. Now, I know I'm ramping through this pretty fast. We have a lot to go over. And also, I don't want to spend too much time explaining this stuff just because I just wanted to show you what I did, essentially. Now, we basically did all of Carpetiem's quest lines. Potato kills can only be done actively, super easy. By the way, you need to do bullets crafted, unopened chest. You can just craft from storage, by the way. Craft from storage, super easy. It works the same. And then the epic KO you want to do, which basically what it does is all you have to do is if you don't have one, you can go into your old quests, find the one where it requires you to craft boxing gloves. You can reclaim item and you get the crimson string again. You can go ahead and build the boxing gloves again with the crimson string. And then you just come in, and then if you have to leave the map, make sure you forfeit, accept it again, punch the Tyson. There you go. That quest is done. And then the last one, player spoken to. Now, this is the one that I was talking about before with Funguy, and that I got mixed up. Now, you need to say the boomer ain't so bad. This is not unique players, by the way. So all you have to do is go into Pizza 1 server, say the boomer ain't so bad, case sensitive, and then pop over to Pizza Server 2, do the same thing, pop over to Pizza Server 1, do the same thing, pop over to Pizza Server 2, so on and so forth until you have 30. It's the most populated server, and it's the easiest way to do it, and then you can come back to Popsicle 2, which is personally the best server in the world. Just saying. Best server in IdleOn. Changed my mind. Itty Bitty Army, hometown. Itty Bitty Army, and all 10 guilds adjacent. All live there. That's the only place to be. And then this is just good, just overall. Boom, done. So all of Carpetiem. Now, you don't do Lumi. Lumi's not done. You don't do any of Lumi. Lumi takes too long. Room keys take forever. Blue alchemy vials are level 5. You should be working on your alchemy vials anyways, but I just all around this quest line is just long. It's tedious. If you're trying to speed run quests, you're going to skip this one from now. It's still good to do, but you're definitely going to skip it for now. Wellington, super, super easy. This gives tons of stamps. One of the highest stamps. Now, there is a, by the way, darn you Blobulite, must you hide like a coward is actually where you unlock the Meister quest line. He's at a Snelby's map, so that's pretty good. So that's super easy to do. Just make sure it's case sensitive and you type it out properly. Now, when it comes to Wellington, so for instance, if you have, for the puzzle, if you have a 12-letter name, it would be 12 times 12. So you would need to have 144 items on the ground. But what you do instead is here's the ultimate trick. You want to do the World 3 quick easy access menu for their shop, which is to get 2.5 million score on World 3 Coliseum for that achievement, and then that'll unlock. And then what you do is that there is traps and skulls that are available for you. And I believe each of them have a storage content of about 140. So what you do, you go into the map that you need to complete the puzzle. You go to open up World 3 quick easy access menu for the shop for World 3, and then you do the math of how many that you need. So say if you need 144 and there's 140 traps and 140 skulls, that means you'd buy out all the traps, drop them on the ground. Don't pick them up, just drop them on. Keep on buying them out because you can only remember traps don't stack, neither do skulls. So that's one per inventory slot. Drop them all on the ground, and then you keep on doing that until between the skulls until you have exactly 144 on the ground. If only you have a 12 by 12 name. I think I had 14 by 14 names, so mine was like 196. So I had to buy out all the traps, and I think there's like 80 something left on the skulls. But then you just drop all of those on the ground. Just make sure you've counted. You could even do the calculator between the skulls and the traps of what you need. And then there you go. Once you're done, you just have them all drop on the ground. You talk to Wellington. You've completed the quest. You don't need to mess around by fighting any of the sand giants or doing any of that bullshit. It just counts as one on the ground. So just go to your World 3 shop, buy that shit out, drop it on the ground with quick, easy access menu. Go back to the shop, buy it, drop it on the ground, buy it, drop it on the ground, buy it, drop it on the ground, hand it in, boom, done. Easiest way to do this quest. I've done this. I officially have done this like 11 times now. So because on my main account, I have every single quest done on 10 characters, except for Yondergreen. I hate you, Yondergreen. I hate you. I'm going to chop you down and set you up as for Christmas. Everybody knows. If you know, you know. Yondergreen sucks. So super easy to get this quest. Plus it also gives you Stonks, which is just a star talent book that gives you more star talents. So you can level it up to like 29. And then after that, you're getting like diminishing returns. And then finally to Jonut. Super easy stuff. We've already surpassed World 3. And you got to remember, as you're looking at this, a lot of these quests require base materials from monsters. That's why we're doing it on the Elemental Sorcerer. Because the Elemental Sorcerer is what's giving us an easy amount of farming materials. Thousands are super easy to farm with the ES. Remember, we spent all that time making sure our Elemental Sorcerer was, got a good portal count, got all the good amount of damage, all this stuff. Yeah, exactly. So he's able to farm World 3 quite easily. So there you go. Boom. You can do this whole entire quest line. Dejonet's done. Now, fishing areas. We did this before, so we don't need to do it again. You want to at least push into the second map with the Elemental Sorcerer because there's a star sign that requires you to reach that map on a mage class. So you still want to do that anyways. Fish paste, super easy. These cans in a row. Cans in a row are pain in the ass. I'll give you that, especially if you have multi-fish chance. Super sucks. But the 15 butterflies, super easy. But what you do is the same for, you remember the tick strat that we do with the clicking on a object or a enemy and then running back and then clicking it again and running back, clicking it again, and then it spams it. Same deal with this. You can just use this on the cans until you pop up 3 in a row, and in the quest, you're done. Remember, you want to use the left pool on the first map because that's where it gives you the best chance for hermit cans. Because if you go to the next map where this quest is on and you go to the far right, that's for jellyfish. The far left is for bloaches, and on the first map, the right is goldfish, and the left is hermit can. Keep that in mind. Scuba Doo is super easy. You want to do this full quest line as well. This is just fish caught in 2 minutes. It's the same thing where you could move to the side, click on it, move to the side, click on it, move to the side, click on it, move to the side, click on it. You'll spam 5 insanely fast. Very quick. You don't need to do this whole thing. This is old school stuff. When Lava implemented that you're allowed to be able to sort of like prayer flick, so to speak, or fix ticking. When he added that to the game, all of that became irrelevant. So super easy for those quest lines. This stuff, I mean, you can do if you want the thread, but I mean the 24 candy, the 10 2-hour candy, the just dumping of a shit ton of candy, not worth, dog. Not worth it all. It's you're only gonna, all that stuff's bleh. Now, party dungeons. Dungeon attempted. You want to do party dungeons, so you want to do this one, defeat Snake Otep. I only did this one, to be honest, because it all depends on how much time you have. We didn't want to waste too much time. I ended up getting to second Snake just solo. By the way, I'm going to show you World 2 and World 3 and how to do it effectively, because good luck getting a team for that, because the only team that you're really going to get for is World 1. You want to do the other party dungeons because for the sole reason that you are getting damage percent or achievements, because there's 3 achievements that you'll get 15% damage from defeating the 3rd snake and 15% damage from defeating the 3rd Glaxus, which is the World 3 party dungeon. So only doing 1 because you wanted to attempt it, but that is all of World 2. So you're only skipping a very minor amount of things, right? Keep in mind. Now for World 3, you should have already done all of this on your Elemental Sorcerer up to Shovel's Vote, okay? After all of that, I mean, if you did manage to redo all of this to be able to do the Shovel's Vote, the Yondergreen's Vote, the Bill Brr's Vote, and get all that stuff done, great. But you don't really need to if you don't want to. okay? Because you probably already did this on your DK, and you would have to redo it on your Elemental Sorcerer, which kind of sucks. I ended up not doing it because you had to buy a trap from the shop. And remember that the Wellington quest line where you had to buy all the traps? I bought out all the traps. So I didn't even have enough traps for that day to even do that quest, so I just said screw it and just continued elsewhere. Iceland Irwin should already been done. Carpet Cardinal should already been done. Worldo. This is the World 3 one. This is going to give you some card packs. I will show you how to do these later. For the job completion, you'll see me do a World 3 party dungeon that will make this very, very, very easy, and I'll explain going forward. But yes, you want to do these. I did both of those. Those are something that you completed. Lord of the Hunt. Now, I did a lot of trapping in the past 2 days, like an insane amount of trapping while I was doing all this questing, like 20-minute intervals of shiny farm. And I did all the way up to, I believe, yeah, I did all the way up to Mousies. Because now, since I have the Trapper Drone, I can abuse the shit out of Trapper Drone. Because Lava did an update where you don't need to unlock other critters. Because what it used to be is you had to do the Lord of the Hunt, and you had to do his quests in order to unlock new critters, in order to get those critters so you can unlock new ones. But that ended up the catch-up mechanic being too slow. So now you can actually catch the best critter in the game as soon as you unlock Trapper Drone, which is busted for XP, which I'll show you guys later. It's actually disgusting. So I went up to Mousies because I was farming Pingies for my Dew Scythe, and World 4, also, I believe it was Void Traps, I believe, and World 4 Anvil. And I farmed all of the Internal Lords. I think I farmed like 47 of them in one day. So there's that. So only go up to Mousies. So that one's super easy. Lonely Hunter. Yes. This one's super easy. Duel this one. Xylobones, top right skull. Smash them down. Spawn some. Kill them. Bronze chest, silver chest, gold chest. This will take you a minimum of 3 runs. So just make sure you're killing it. But it should be easy with Elemental Sorcerer. Make sure to spam your stuff. And this is also good for you, because this is also gives you your Coliseum tickets for 3, your Coliseum tickets for 2, and your Coliseum tickets for 1 each day. So now we are done our Coliseum quest lines for us to have our 3 tickets a day. So now that's something to take under consideration, and now it's done. Snouts. I ended up doing Snouts all the way up. I believe I did the whole quest line, because now we have Tachyon of the Titans, because we did that on our tower defense. In order to get that, explosive salts, red ox salts are super cheap right now. And it also gave us the buckler stamp. Buckler stamp, if you want, you could do this earlier. It's a very good, easy source of defense. But this one right here, the purple frog stamp, this gives you shiny chance. This is big. You want this one, 100%. But all this stuff, not hard to do. And remember, every stamp that we get, we're also building up our elemental sorcerer damage. Now, we don't get a shit ton of damage from stamps, unfortunately, in the early game, because you need stuff like Steve's Sword or Void Axe, stuff like that. But we got a little bit. Like the Tomahawk stamp is decent for damage percent, but it's nothing like Steve's Sword. Steve's Sword is way better, but you don't get that until you do the 1 million figure follower quest. But we're going to accumulate enough damage that we don't actually need to worry about that. So going into Shoville, Tusk Drop, super easy. Mesquite's Nose, everything about this is easy. Ice Age, just dummy thick. None of this is hard. This one, killing mammoths and having shovels drop the right place. It is literally right to the left side of Shoville with the rope, the red rope there. Actually, here, let me do this for you. I'm just going to show exactly where each one is. So the first quest for the shovel is right here. You need to make sure the shovels drop directly on my character. The next one is, I believe, the snowmen, which is right above the totem, which is going to be right here. So you want it to drop right here. This is approximately where you're going to want to be. This is where it's going to drop. I usually do hoops, not today. So you drop it right there. And then last one is Thermeisters. Okay. The third quest for the shovels is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's for Thermeisters. And where it's located is literally right here in the far corner. So what you do, all you have to do is just drop portal. And then you just use your meteors, and then all of the shovels will just drop in that area. It's one of the easier ones to do, as long as you have portal cooldown, right? So that's how you do those 3. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So those 3 quests, you want to do all those quests, okay? Just all of them, get them done. Yondergreen. You are going to do some of Yondergreen's quest lines, even though it sucks because it requires you to play shrines, so you lose a lot of your shrines. Coins on the ground. You cannot have any other items of coins on the ground. Super big pain in the ass. You need to get a pen sample size, which also sucks, but you end up getting a wispy lumber later because you're working through world 3. So you can just delete that pen size after you're done and just take a wispy lumber print. And then 4 signed contracts. This is where we stop. We stop right here because I don't care, because after that quest, I mean, you can do that quest if you want, but this is where Yondergreen starts to really suck, because you have to do exactly specific hours and you can only be off by like 3 minutes. So 4 hours and 10 minutes, 9 hours and 33 minutes, 20 hours and 51 minutes exactly to be able to do that stuff. That takes forever, and you can't time candy it. You can't time candy it, which is a pain in the... So, I mean, you could do the signed contracts if you want, but I mean, I didn't do it. I didn't bother doing it because I just didn't care. And remember, signed contracts only happen killing actively, but I stopped it there. So, pretty easy. This one, super, super, super easy. You can do all of these quest lines, no problem. All it requires you to do is defeat all the Cairo snakes that show up in the map. You might as well just take off your respawn for this. So just take off your portal. And then you want to go defeat 20 Cairo snakes, 17 bot boxes, 22 Neptunes for the second quest. And then the third quest requires you to go from Cairo snakes all the way to dedicated rams. So we unlocked dedicated rams the other day to unlock Equinox. So that's already done. And then you need to defeat all of those guys in order to get to that point. So all of these quests are nice and easy for you. Shouldn't be a problem whatsoever. Bill Brr. Odd damage in a row. You can just go to worship, like the goblins map, go to the worship, summon. So you're actually in the tower defense, or worship. No, I think, it's summon. So then you're actually in the tower defense. And since all your attacks do 1 damage, well, then you just attack 8 times doing 1 damage. And there you go. Done. Easy quest. He also wants you to defeat a frog. There on the map that you hand in on Bill Burr's quest, there will be a frog that spawns. It will have a shit ton of health. Good luck with that. It just takes a while. But Tornado helps a ton with that because it hits a ton. So Tornado, Meteorites, best friends when fighting that. Now, the next one is Cryo Snakes, and you can't harm any spores. Easiest thing that you can do is just unequip your weapon and just make sure to click on the snakes and just stand far away so you know that you're going to attack the snake. And then that should be good. And you should one-shot them anyways. Pick up the coin, walking over it. And easiest way to do this too is just to turn off auto loot and just stand still, because then it'll start hopping towards you. And then you just give Bill Burr some candy. He'll give you a couple 4 hours. This one, just make sure to go to Cheezor, dodge all the spikes, and then make sure not to get hit. Kill Cheezor afterwards, and then hand that in, and then kill Chaotic. This all should be easy by this point. Boom, that's easy. And then Bellows. Bellows is also pretty easy for the most part. You can do... I did all of them because I had enough for the giant spawn because of Tactation of the Titans didn't get reset. And then the black lens, you can go ahead and take care of that as well. Should be pretty easy if you choose to do that. So I did all of those as well. Now, I also did the... What is it called? So in World 2, there is a quest line here. I don't want to use too many portals, unfortunately, but I will do it for the sake of explaining. There is a special quest lines here. You go down here, the Wallapiggy. This guy right here does the treasure hunts that you need to watch on YouTube on Lava's main channel to be able to figure out how to exactly do the steps. I think I only got to number 3, but this also offers you some nice candy, which is good. You want a little bit of candy. And you can't complain a little bit. It's fine. It's not really all that worth it, but if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. But it's definitely not a requirement. And of course, we did a little bit of World 4, just a pinchy that we mostly did on DK. That was already done because of the DK and figuring out how to do the quest line. Nebula Netty should have already been done. Oiken, we made sure to do. We got up to at least here, but we did this already on the DK. Just because as we were pushing through to get our elite classes, that was already done. We don't have Croissant yet, so we didn't get to that point, which is fine. And then Outskirts the Isle, of course, we did the Fall Star Isle, and that is it. That is all we did. And then we made sure to do the Rift because we unlocked the Rift. So those are technically all the quests that we did, other than the one World 5 quest, which required you to do Mugabug with the learning how to do the tutorial for World 5. But other than that, that's it. Those are all the quests done. That's all of them covered. A couple of tips for them. And that was how we managed to build up our damage a significant amount to get to that point. That's how we were able to get at least 200% damage. So that's a significant amount of damage. But that's also not where all of our damage came from, because obviously we want our weapons. We want our best weapons we can possibly get here. Of course, that is definitely something that we want. We didn't get any from the post office because we're still focusing on the boxes, of course. Alchemy helped a little bit. One of the big ones I tried to focus on was the rat vial and getting us to a little bit of extra weapon power. So tail time is a decent if you want to help yourself a little bit and get a little bit of that sweet weapon power damage. But it's obviously not necessary. The next one is once you've done like all those quests, not only do you have a shit ton of stamps, you also get a ton of balloons and a ton of candy. Okay, it's great. It's great. So if you take a look at all the stamps here, keep in mind, I did do a couple of stamps that were like farming mobs. Like for instance, the ones from the boas, or the couple of ones that drop from like blood bones, or maybe I got lucky on a crystal spawn or stuff like that. Okay, so there's a couple of them that aren't quest based, but most of these are quests. Most of these are all farmed by quests. So keeping that in mind, you know, it's decent. It's all right. As you can see, I ended up farming blood bones last night because of, I'll show you later. But, you know, I just made sure to look at the stamps that gave me damage, decided how much I'm going to level them up a little bit. But as you can see, I actually didn't level up these stamps that much because we're actually not hugely benefiting a lot from those stamps, because that gives us a little bit of damage, but that doesn't give us all our damage. So just getting a little bit of that is going to be good. But I digress. Of course, crafting the new stuff, making sure that we have, you know, new tools. We have all our new skulls. Our horn skulls now are all completed. So we have all those unlocked, but that's not really giving us much for stats. But our gears, making sure they're nice and high as can possibly be. And that also helps us with slab. Okay, that's another thing that you need to keep in mind when farming stuff for these quests, is it's also giving us a ton of slab percent, which is quite nice. So we ended up unlocking 710 slab items, which gives us 21% total damage. Dope, right? A little bit of damage, can't complain. Just a smidge, just enough to get us by. It's not a lot, but it's every little bit counts here. The next big one is party dungeons. Now, if we take a look here and we go to achievements based, we managed to do the World 3, World 2 Galaxis. So it gives us 3% for the second one and 2% for the first one. So that's 5% total damage. And I misspoke. You get 10% for World 2 and World 3 Party Dungeon. You kill all the bosses. You get 15% for the fourth frog in World 1. I misspoke on that one. My bad. And then you end up killing the Tomb Raider, which gives you also that total damage percent, and Tomb Defiler, which for the second snake also gives you total damage percent. Now keep in mind, there are probably maybe a few more that give you damage percent, but those are the only ones that I care to remember. And then of course we have fourth frog, third frog, second frog, and first frog, which gave us 15%. I will show you how to do this party dungeons later as a little trick. Well, actually, since we're on the topic about it, we should probably show you now. So actually, yeah, let's do that. I'll take you through the party dungeon runs for World 3, World 2, and we managed to get some more Kruk keys. And I know what you're thinking. Griffy, just go do Kruk, get us into World 6 and screw it. No, you guys are watching this to learn, not to watch me progress into World 6, because once we get into World 6, the series is pretty much over until World 7 slows down, and then I might do a couple episodes into the introduction, but anyways. So let's go ahead, and World 1 is really easy, okay? It's just dropping the stuff in the cauldron and letting other people carry you. World 2 and World 3 are where things get a little bit interesting. Now, I do have a lot of videos, or I do have at least one video of party dungeons, okay? World 2 party dungeons, tips and tricks, World 3 party dungeons, tips and tricks. We're just gonna run you through it. Now keep in mind, also with the quest stuff, you can do it on every character, and you'll get even more candy, even more balloons, but I suggest you do that stuff when you're in World 6 and you're a little bit more juiced out, because then everything just becomes easier. So, quickly going over, when it comes to party dungeons as well, what I did to help boost myself up, I ended up maxing Decaf Latte, Sharp Eye, Stardew Drop because I don't use spells because I just auto attack. Handy Ice Pick, Blood Vial, Boss Skull, Dead Book. Now keep in mind, achievements are what helps unlock all these RNG items. Horn of the Full is a good one, but you know, I'm not going to go through all of that because we're going to be here forever. So You're really adamant on how to unlock RNG items. And then we go into equipment, and we manage to unlock a big amount of weapons. So now we get a big amount of damage. We unlocked all of our boots and stuff to get that up. Perfect, love that. Jewelry, get that up. 125 Beastmaster, so now we can get good jewelry, etc., etc. Mostly what I'm focusing on is total damage percent at this point, just because total damage percent gives us, or even mana, because it allows us to, if we want to choose to cast our spells, we have that option to do so. I usually like to take, for the most part, the Flurbo reduction, or sorry, the orb reduction for our items to get. Weapons drop more armor, drop instead of armors and jewelry more often because we have such a high level weapon. Flurbos drop 30% more from bosses. Gray RNG items mostly for World 1, but you can also do green RNG items for +1 damage. I think we're going to probably do that instead because I'm pretty sure each purple 5 base, you're going to get a lot of greens. Start each dungeon with 2 gray RNG items. Start dungeon with 1 green RNG item, or 50% to start dungeons with a blue RNG item. I just take gray because you have a chance of a recycler, and a recycler has a higher chance to give you something that you actually want. And then start off with 3 base damage because it's all good. So now that we got that set up, if you guys want a really good tip as well, but you don't really need to do this anymore, I would suggest to have stronger tools because you are going to need a decent level tools. In World 3, you need at least a platinum pick and a platinum axe if you want to expect to do any levels of progression, but you can have 1 tool and still significantly do well. But I'm just going to go with this. You can also, if you want, to use a thing called boost food, because if you didn't know, things like icing iron bites, saucy log fries, any of those sort of deals, they don't get consumed in party dungeons, but you still get the effects. So it's also really good in that regards. I did have some party dungeon cards due to the fact that, you know, I did the World 3 quest line, so I ended up getting some card packs. I don't care. We're just here to show you. Just create a party, just go solo, and just enter. Now, rule of thumb, okay? You're going to walk past the snake. Now, the reason is you're going to want to attack the skullstone. No matter what, skullstone priority over anything, okay? You're not doing the skullstone, you're doing it wrong. Okay, so this is hurting monsters and doing them. So in order to Wazam, you need to get them super, super low. We're just going to whack this away, do the cool little thing that I usually do here. Okay, have him like this because he's pretty weak. Same for over here. And now since we hit the weakest link, now we can collect this stuff and do a little bit more damage here. Get our auto attacks. Okay, he's good. And then we go ahead and finish this guy off. And so the object is we want to Wazam. Because if you just complete it and just get a completion, you get 1 RNG item. If you Wazam it, you get 2 RNG items. So that's why Wazamming it is very, very important. Now we're just going to keep on snapping back and making sure we just reset our attacks. Ever since Lava implemented this skill or this mechanic, IdleOn has been so much more fun to play in the early game. Because before this mechanic, it was pretty boring. Just because you had to wait for that stuff to happen, and then it was very, very idle. Now it can be much more active if you really want to be more active with it. So I think ultimately he did a really good job with that. Now, since they're all really close to almost dead, I believe it's within 5 to 10%, so we should get a Wazam. Oh, also Wazams give you more percentage as well. So you definitely want, and there's also an achievement for all Wazams, so you do want to do as many Wazams as possible. Yeah, so we got a Wazam, sick, Dead Book, always want to take because it's damage and crit chance. Blood Vial, we could do Recycler. So I'm going to pop a Recycler. And what we're looking for is Stardew Drop. Remember, we are not going to cast any auto attacks because with our DK, our auto attacks cast Shockwave. So I could have spent on there, but that's okay. So now we just need to look for Buried Treasure. I believe it's 3 for completion. And remember, Skullstone always. It's all based on drop rate. So we got 1, so we passed. So I believe if we get 3, then we actually get a Wazam. So it's completely up to RNG. We might just straight up get screwed over here. But this is good to farm money if you can do all the kills here. Okay. And then these guys should have an increased chance of actually getting it. And remember, you don't want to complete the quest before you kill the Star Stone or the Skullstone, because some maps actually complete before the timer's up if you have defeated everything. So we're not going to get a Wazam because we only got 2. We had to get 3 in order to get a Wazam, but we ended up clearing everything. And I usually like to be as far away as the portal as possible. World 1 is usually a given. We should be able to ramp up enough damage, I believe. So, I mean, if Teo can just go ahead and skip these 15 seconds, it'll be fine. Or not, either or. I mean, I can keep yapping, I don't care. But as you can see, we're also level 340 because we've done quite a bit of farming. Okay, we only Wazammed it. So, Sharp Eye, we are hoping for Horn of the Full, so building any sort of crit chance is what we're looking for. Stardew Drop is always an easy take. Boss Skull, Armadillo, Rusty Blade. Now, we only really need Rabbit's Paw in World 1. Everything else isn't really necessary. RNG, Recycler, Recycler again, Movement Speed, Armadillo. So you see how Recycler's kind of nice because it's able to, you know, actually recycle what we need to get. And then this one's pretty easy. You just need to follow up the colors. Now, there is a trick that you can get a shit ton of money from this, but I'm not going to show it just because, I mean, we're not using the right class. B, it's just takes forever and it bugs it out. So I'd rather just get it done, get a quick pass. Now, if you take your time, you can get this passed. So between the three, I want to take the Latte just because it increases our speed. Thorny Rose, you want to take the HP because that feeds into Armadillo. A little bit extra damage here. Ooh, a nice 35 damage ring. So far we're scaling quite decently. This one's pretty easy. All you have to do is just run through. Try not to get hit if you wanted to not lose health. And then, wow, we actually quite decent. Now, I'm pretty sure this is unwazammable anyways. And I'm pretty sure all you have to do is just get to the end in order to complete it. Even if you get hit, it doesn't matter. But I just used WASD, boom. And I like to try not to get hit anyways. And you see how that auto completes? We are going to take Blood Vial now that we have the HP for it. Let's grab, see if we get a new weapon here. 28 damage, love that. So we're scaling pretty good. So this one, we need to reel in the fish, make sure Skullstone first. And then same thing as before, we just start pulling. Boom, boom. See, this is the strat that you can do when you're doing those other quest lines as well, right? When I was talking about with, you know, have to reel in 5 fish within 2 minutes. And remember, that is not an exploit, by the way. That is actually a mechanic implemented by Lava specifically for skilling in combat. So I don't want to hear anything in the comments saying this is an exploit because it never was and it never will be. It is actually just straight game mechanic. And honestly, it makes the game way better. I have played this multiple times, and this is the first time I've actually went hard with this new mechanic implementation. And I have to tell you, man, I think IdleOn in the early game became 10 times better. It's very eye-opening. I knew a little bit of how free-to-play struggles when it comes to just the game all around. But I think people also are too busy caring about trying to be part of the end game percent. Like, they want to be as good as the people that do pay money. If there's any point, any game in time where not paying money gets you close to people paying money, I mean, let me know. But I feel like that's, in most games, that just doesn't happen. So, but I mean, to even enjoy the game or getting even close to where you need to, I think free-to-play is more than possible. Because I've been enjoying my time. Now, obviously, some stuff has been a little bit of a struggle, but for the most part, it's been totally fun. So obviously, you want to kill the 2 Dutes, kill the skull that was on the right side there. Those will have a chance of giving you a dice. Snake will give you a dice, and a secret pathway will be spawned if you manage to successfully kill the skull rocks. If you don't kill the skull rocks, this does not spawn. So this is what allows you to go into number 2. This next one here, we just want to make sure we go down, hit the skull rock. Always make sure to hit the skull rock no matter what. We got a nice necklace there. But yeah, I've thoroughly been enjoying my time playing. But you see how the auto attacks? You see how we stay full mana and our auto attacks still do tons of damage with the shockwave. This is why I love running DK, because he just so easy to scale damage when it comes down to it. And then we just want to make sure that if we snap back, it works. And then nice little shockwave action. And it's good, man. Nice clearing out. So far we are doing decent damage. We're probably looking for about, if we want to tap at 3rd snake, we need about 5,000 to 6,000 damage if we're looking for it. But I doubt it. I doubt it's going to happen. We might get lucky. We might get a horn drop. If we get a horn drop, the chances of us just go astronomically. Also, the other problem is we don't really have the tools, but we have a better chance due to the fact that we have at least a platinum pickaxe, because there is maps where it requires you to mine ore in order a chance to farm out a Grumblo. So, and there's also problem with World 2 maps is some maps are actually not possible to complete. So if you just get a bad RNG, doesn't matter how strong you are, it just won't be completionist anyways. So it's actually really shitty in that regards, but I mean, it's really not the end of the world. There's not much else that you can do to make it a little bit easier for you. So that's what you do in that regard anyways. That's what you can do. And, you know, sometimes you just have to wait. You just have to wait for it to be finished and wait for it to be finished. That's all there is to it. You gotta wait, you gotta wait. So we want to take Sharp Eye, of course. At this point in time, do we want to take Single Cut? I mean, we could take... I mean, we do want to try to scale Single Cut as much as we can here. And also, since we do have Blood Vial, that this actually does help us. And we do have one more spawn for the day, I'm pretty sure, so... If we do end up getting lucky as well... No, we didn't. Okay. So we don't need battery because we don't need that at all because we're not... But we are one shot, which kind of sucks. This one's super easy. Just make sure to run past. And also, believe it or not, as well, we're not going to Wazam it. If you chop right here, you need a gold hatchet. Damn it. But basically, that also counts towards slab as a different than choppy logs, due to the fact that it is a different entity. In case you didn't know. Also, on top of that, is it creates a barricade, so this guy can't get through. But we do enough damage that doesn't matter. Oh, we did get Wazam. Nice. So we could go with another, try to double attack. So we need 3 of those for 100%, or we could go for more crit chance. I'm going to go with that. Handy ice pick. Okay, sick. So now no matter what, we do double damage, which is sick. And a double chance to summon Shockwave. Because, well, if you attack twice with Handy ice pick, that means you also have 2 chances to cast Shockwave per attack. So that's actually a significant amount of damage for us. Now I'm actually going to start pulling some gear for us to see if we can roll some more damage. And as you can see, we did roll a little bit. So I actually am going to roll a little bit of jewelry enhancers here. Jewelry, the nice one we want to aim for is total damage %. Drop chance is not what we're looking. Boss damage is perfectly fine. Block chance is also a really good one for us, especially if we're getting into the chances of getting, for instance, another a single cut. 25 boss damage is fine. I want to go for more crit damage. I want to have at least 100% or 60% crit damage because we're trying to build for it. So this is the one where Grumblo spawns. So you can just do the quick snaps here. And if a Grumblo appears, you just attack the Grumblo, take him down. But same thing, make sure that's taken down. We didn't have a shirt yet, so perfect. Same thing, just keep on snapping it till you get it done. I just tap it on the mouse and then I make sure to, or tap it on the arrow keys and then click with the mouse. That's all I do. And that's how you can do it that fast. Now you can do this on mobile. It's a little bit more of a pain in the ass on mobile. I would suggest just to do this on keyboard and mouse. I would honestly suggest you just play this game on Steam. I do play it on mobile, but I do just upkeeping on mobile. I don't really do much of actual gameplay. I wait until I just have it running on Steam. I have been playing the main account on mobile a little bit more since, you know, I've been running this 24/7 on the main. I have both rings now, right? This is one thing I don't like, how it doesn't run both rings. Very annoying. It just keeps on replacing the same ring. So maybe I could go like this. And then equip it to that one. And maybe our next ring will actually replace the proper ring here. So I don't think we're going to Wazam, unfortunately. Because I think you need like 11 Grumblos. I think. Maybe we'll Wazam because we did quite a bit. Maybe. Possibility. But we should be able to get second snake no matter what. Yeah, we didn't get enough. Which is fine. Now, just take some more Armadillo. Now I'm going to buy another one and hope for Blood Vial 6, so we'll take another one there. And we got a little bit of health, which is nice. And I think at this point, we just want to keep on building some damage here. Because we still don't have enough for number 3. Now this one is a little interesting. We want to skip him completely and just make sure we go for the rock first. Because you see how quickly that completed? If we didn't go for the rock first, we would have lost that stone and it would have been GG. 165, nice. It's a big upgrade on that one. 17 total % damage, I'll take it. So that's a little bit of ramp. So what's our damage so far? Almost 2k. It's not bad. Can't complain. Should be more block chance. Huge. That's going to help us in the later game. We might still be a little bit shy of damage, but as you can see here, you don't need like level, you don't need a huge amount of levels, right? I'm only level 33 or rank 33 when it comes to my dungeon level. And I'm already being able to progress second. It's about being smart and efficient when it comes to World 2 and World 3. But you gotta make sure, and a little bit of luck. I will give it that. You gotta make sure you have a little bit of luck. But you also gotta remember that Shockwave Slash scales quite tremendously on Party Dungeon. It's really good because it's just overall decent scaling. I still argue that DK is the best Party Dungeon character in the game for the Shockwave Slash. Some people disagree. In the early game, it 100% is, because he becomes viable as soon as you start doing Party Dungeons, if you have DK already. Just because of the Shockwave Slash. The Shockwave Slash and the auto attack. Now, you could say later on, maybe Arcane Cultist gets a little bit better, due to the fact that his auto attack summons Skull. But if you're at that point where you're trying to do Arcane Cultist, I mean, you're already in World 6. Arcane Cultist is minimum World 6. That should be a Wazam. Yeah, so just like that, boom. Yeah, we're just going to keep on the Blood Vial. That's going to keep on helping us build damage. Let's do more block chance. Yeah, okay, nice. So we got 100%. We got tons of Wazams. We got all the Revival Stones. And we are doing a little bit of juicy damage. We're getting lots of crits. We might have a chance. We have a very slim chance, but we still might have a chance to get third snake here. But so far, it's looking decent. As long as we get the decent rolls, because we can get screwed really fast. This is actually one of my better runs. But it's all about just building and knowing what you're going for. If we got a shit ton of Stardew drops out of left field, that's when we'd be cooking. But if we were like rank 50, this would already be a cakewalk. You don't need a big build for that. 64 damage, huge. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we got the Grumbler one. So we got one uncompletable one, which sucks. I actually think we can do this. If we do this correctly, I think we actually have the possibility of doing this. We have one impossible one though, which sucks. As long as we have the damage, we should be able to do this just fine, actually. We need to be able to Wazam at least, I believe, one. One has to be Wazamable. Did I just nuke my damage? I think I might have just nuked my damage. It's okay, we'll try to get back. We'll try to go for crit damage. And pray for the crits. Nice, we got 9% total damage on that one. Love that. That's what we want for... Oh yeah, no, that's pretty bad. What we could aim for as well is our crit chance on... That's a Dementia pick needed. So, as you can see here, now we don't have the ability to do Void. But you can also see how fast we kind of just blew through that, right? And then all the rest are Void. I wonder, can we actually break through that? No, you can't. But that's a pass, so that's cool. That's nice. I think we could Wazam Cactus if we roll for crit chance on our weapon. Because I think the total we can get is 16% crit chance. And we are sitting at a current of 46.9. So an extra 16% would bring us into the 62 mark. So, yeah, 62, 63 mark, which would be huge. Unless we roll a horn. If we manage to get horn in the full, this is done deal. Because we have the crit chance to make it work. We're kind of just hoping that we get a couple more crit chances and just making sure that we're staying heavy on the crits. Because if our shockwave crits, that's where the big damage is. This is Super Soda, basic attacks, hit, regen, don't care. Sharp Eye, that's exactly what we were looking for. Now we can grab one RNG item. Sucker Punch, critical damage, beautiful. Now let's aim for some crit chance here. 18% crit chance. Let's go for some total damage. Cash from mobs. Cash from mobs. Extra dice chance. 15% total damage. I think we might be taking this home. Okay. Wait for the blue. Go down to pink. Equip that. Ooh, I think we shouldn't have equipped that. I think I might have just hurt our damage a little bit, but that's okay. There we go. That's another pass. Now, I could go food, but I don't have anything that I'm worried about for food-wise. And then I think we're just going to... Did I actually... Oh, no, I don't think I did. I don't actually think I did. Some boss damage. So we're actually going to roll a little bit more jewelry. Oh, cool. Okay, so now... Okay, so I didn't... Okay, and then we got percent damage. Okay, so we didn't nerf ourselves at all. We're at 3,100 damage. Beautiful. This one's impossible, by the way. So just make sure you just go for the Skullstone. And if you want, you can build a little bit of money here, if you so choose. But yes, this one is theoretically impossible. We don't know why, but it just is. Like, even if you defeat all the Laszlos, it's still literally just impossible. So I usually just like to take the time, farm some cash out, and Bob's your uncle. But as you can see, we are doing pretty massive amounts of damage. Also, no horn in the full, man. Literally no horn. Most people say you can't do this unless you have horn. We don't have horn, man. We don't. Our stuff isn't even that strong. But it's the fact that we're just building properly. It's building for crit chance, waiting for our shockwave slash to proc, doing big damage, getting crits more often than not. 178 damage on our pants. Living the dream, apparently. And we just keep on building. And that's just because, we made sure to do our happy hour every week. We got to a fair amount. We were able to upgrade our weapons a decent amount. And then able to get some of our RNG items. But even still, our main base stats aren't even that good. We were just focusing on base damage and total damage percent. And just like that, boom. Now... we have, like, no health. That's okay. That is oh, here. If we drop, that's fine, because I can just do an insta-res. Now we lost a bunch of damage, unfortunately, but it's not a big deal. We can just go ahead and hurt ourselves some more. But we do have a fairly high block chance. But I am going to try to nerf my damage here. But see, look, even failed without even trying. More RNG items for me, please. Handy ice pick, that kind of sucks. Sharp eye, beautiful. So we lost. Yeah, we need to get hurt. We need to get hurt bad. We got to start nerfing ourselves big time, because we might have messed up here. Because now we've lost a majority of our damage. In order to Wazam this, you want to make sure that you just hit every enemy or destroy every enemy. They get stronger as you go down. But just make sure to take damage since you have all those vials. And don't pick up any more food. We might have actually just ruined this for us, unfortunately, due to the fact that we healed up. That was probably maybe a bad call on my part. But even still, Shockwave Slash is still doing work, right? We're building up a little bit of damage, but we are blocking a lot as well, which is problematic. Going as fast as I can, trying to tap this stuff out, but yeah, it's not looking too hot for us. We might have actually lost here, unfortunately. Damn it. We lost so much damage because of our vial. Yeah, damn it. I think we lost it. Skullstone. Rip, dude. Oh, that's so unfortunate, man. Or actually... No, actually, I think we're okay. No, actually, I think we still win. Because as long as we get the 10% here. Yeah, we should. As long as we get the Beach Massacre, I think we take this home, man. That would have been so unfortunate, dude. Actually, I mean, I don't hold my breath. Still a potential chance that we lose. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. Is it not gonna drop? No way, dude. No way, man. Come on. Drop, dude. I don't think I have the damage for these guys. No way. I'm gonna lose because of this? Are you serious? Dude, I'm about to rate this game 1 star, dude. Are you kidding me? If I would have was a dude, all because I decided to just take damage, bro. Are you kidding me right now? I'm actually so upset about that. Like, what is the chance of this not wanting to drop, dude? The tape never dropped. God damn. And I don't think I do enough damage to take this guy out in time to even have another chance. So I actually lose because of this, don't I? What? Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. You're lucky, Lava. I won't rate 1 star. There it is, dude. We did all 3. All 3 snakes. Just like that. But yeah, I wouldn't even bother trying to destroy Doot because they just have way too much health. Yeah, and then we'll be here for a while. You know, as funny as it is, this used to take, I think the first time I got 3rd snake, it took me 6, no. It was like 9.5 hours to kill the 3rd snake for the first time. And I white screened. See, if I just auto. I'm gonna put on a frickin' YouTube video while I'm waiting for this shit, man. My God. My God, Jim.